Joining me on the show today, he's the senior editor, contributor, and analyst for Grind City Media, host of Grizzbeat, host of HBCU Huddle, host of the Warm-Up Show. He's an award winner recognized by the APSE, the NABJ, NAACP, and other acronymed organizations everywhere. And, of course, an all-around ball knower. It is the one, the only Mike Wallace. Please clap out there in TV land. Mike, what's happening with you, man?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to be here, man. You didn't have to go through all of those pleasantries, man. I thought you was about to get to some trouble I've made along the way, too. But
you know
it's all good, man.
I was looking for it all. So maybe he's an Emmy winner. I don't know. He's recognized by the Peabody Awards or whatever else. Yeah. Hey, man, big day. Schedule release day. Obviously, for you guys, you got a whole slate of things happening this afternoon. What goes on for you guys this week?
Man, it's just when you look at the NBA schedule, and the NBA's done a great job of making this a news day, right? A news week, because it's been trickling out for the last 3 or 4 days. You got, the new Peacock NBC affiliation, Amazon Prime affiliation, and then ESPN being a legacy partner there. So they've been all trickling out, getting their opening week and Christmas Day slates and MLK slates. And now the rest of the team, the rest of the league gets all 30 schedules released this afternoon at about 2 o'clock Central Time.
All right, let's check it out, our big idea for the day, because schedule release day is the big idea. We get the entirety of the NBA schedule. So far, we do know who we will see on opening week and what Christmas, the NBA Cup, and MLK Day looks like. When it comes to the Grizzlies, still a lot for us to figure out. We do know the Grizzlies will be in Europe January 15th and 18th to play the Orlando Magic. That'll be twice. Here is the NBA Cup schedule with the Grizzlies in West Group B. They do get the one primetime game on Amazon Prime against the LA Lakers. The Mavs, Pelicans, Clippers also on the docket, November 7th, 25th, and 28th. 2 of those games on the road. Mike, kind of your thoughts on what the opening week schedule looks like. We're going to see what it looks like for the Grizzlies specifically, but for you, the big idea of the whole thing, what stands out?
What stands out is legacy makers, right? So the opening week is going to be a lot of Lakers, LeBron James, Luka Doncic. You're going to see Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. You're going to see Kevin Durant in a new area right now with the Houston Rockets. And then obviously you got to pay your respects to the defending NBA champion, Oklahoma City Thunder. So they're going to basically bombard the opening week of the national TV schedule. The Grizzlies aren't there, but they will have a very special opening night game that's going to be coming up. And as you can see from what you've shown, the NBA Cup, that West Group B is one of the most loaded groups in terms of competition that we're going to see. So the Grizzlies will have a front-loaded schedule. All of those games are October, November that you've shown so far. The Lakers on Halloween night, you can't get it any better than that. Friday night, Halloween night, LeBron James and Luka. What a matchup right there at FedEx Forum.
What do you think about what some of these teams look like now in this new era? We had a lot of movement in free agency, especially the Lakers, and especially, of course, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder who are trying to kind of re-up. Yeah. And it kind of seems like they just said, let's just run it back. What do you think about some of the movement that's happened so far?
The continuity of Oklahoma City, they're one of the youngest NBA championship teams that we've had. I think the second youngest in NBA history. So all they had to do was lock in on all their players. Everybody signed their max extensions. That team is going to be together for the next 3 to 4 years, right? Houston is chasing them at number 2 right now. You look at what Denver did. They made a trade sending Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets and getting Cam Johnson. So that was a very, very sneaky, underrated trade that I think is going to pay big dividends. So the West is going to be loaded from top to bottom. The East is just opportunistic. What teams can take advantage of Boston being injured without Tatum and Indiana being without, their point guard and Tyrese Halliburton? Who can jump up? But the West is loaded from 1 all the way to probably 12.
Yeah, the East is interesting because obviously Boston was kind of head and shoulders above everybody, or at least it felt like it until the Tatum injury. Now it seems like they're kind of in a wait-and-see mode.
Yeah.
The Indiana, they were good all year, but nobody thought they were going to be the team really until they got into that playoff run. Now it seems like, okay, what are the Knicks going to do? Because this seems like if the Knicks are ever going to win a championship,
it's not.
Now it's time to do it. What are the Cavs going to do? What are the Hawks going to do? They've got Kristaps Porzingis now. When you look at the Grizzlies schedule, and it is revealed about 2:15-ish this afternoon, what are you looking for as a guy who covers this team, and what do you want to see from the Grizzlies?
One of the things that I historically have looked forward to first from the Grizzlies schedule is the MLK weekend, right? Who are the Grizzlies playing that weekend? Who's coming to town? And then after that, you look at the big names. When do they play the Lakers? How many times does Steph Curry and LeBron James at this stage of their careers come to FedEx Forum? That window is getting shorter. They're heading towards retirement pretty soon. And then after that, are they going to be traveling on Thanksgiving and Christmas, or are they going to be closer to home the longest road trip, the longest homestand. Those are the things that I sort of prioritize. And obviously opening night. That's always a fantastic night to see the newness, the new beginnings, and the reset.
Obviously, the holidays, I think, for you guys are always so funny because it's like, all right, can I plan to be here
Right,
for Thanksgiving?
that's
Can
exactly
I plan to be here for Christmas?
Yeah.
Am I going to be here for New Year's? Like, you guys never know until, like,
It was a selfish
this
thing.
week.
Yes, it's more selfish than strategic,
I wasn't
right?
even asking you professionally.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
asking
yeah,
you
yeah,
personally,
yeah,
my guy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think about the Grizzlies NBA Cup group? We know the group we've known what the group is going to look like for a while,
Yeah.
but now, when we find out what the schedule actually looks like, how many of those do you kind of pay attention to specifically?
Well, obviously, when you talk about the Lakers and Clippers, those are two teams that you haven't been successful against recently, right? The Grizzlies went 0 for California last year, right? In terms of how
it was like 0 for 7, 0 for 8,
they
something
went
like
0
that.
for California last year. So the thing is, the Lakers are a team that's been, a big brother to you, a big uncle, right? You got to get past them. The Clippers are loading up for a championship run. Dallas has Cooper Flagg, the #1 overall pick. They're going to be a tough team. They are absolutely going to be really good. Are they rebuilding or are they reloading for another playoff push deep in the playoffs? And then the Pelicans are way in the back right now. They're starting over from scratch with Joe Dumars taking over the running of that organization. So there are 4 different teams on 4 different tracks with 4 different kind of personalities, and it makes for a compelling group.
How many primetime games do you think the Grizzlies get? It's interesting, I think, for me to ask that question because obviously the 2023-24 year was just a disaster, and they were kind of coming off a number 2 seed, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the following year, you have a team that's really, really good for the first half of the year, and maybe they deserve more primetime games, and then they kind of fall
Crater
off a
towards the
cliff.
end, yeah.
Fall off a cliff there towards the end. How many primetime games do you think the NBA blesses them with, I guess?
When you look at it and you factor in the fact that Amazon Prime, obviously NBC and Peacock, and then you still have ESPN. So those are 3 major partners that's divvying up a lot more games, right? So I would say, the Grizzlies should come in somewhere between 8 to maybe 10, somewhere around there. They're not going to be on the marquees because we've already seen the marquee games come out.
We have.
So now it's everything else, the midweek type games. But because you're going to be playing in the West, you're going to be playing against Kevin Durant and the Rockets, against LeBron James and the Lakers, against Oklahoma City. You're going to end up in national television games because of the other team that has to be shown. So I think that benefits the Grizzlies, and they'll probably get somewhere between 8, 10, 12, somewhere along those lines in national games.
All right, for sure. And then kind of going back to the NBA Cup just a little bit, what do you think about you've got a Cooper Flagg in there now. What do you think about that kind of West group that they have? Do you see those stars becoming stars quickly, or or even with the Lakers, Luka, LeBron dynamic? Like, what do you think about some of these storylines that have come up out of these teams?
Yeah, it's going to be, for Cooper Flagg, he played really, really well in Las Vegas. We were out there, obviously, for the Vegas Summer League, and, he had a 30-point game, and then they shut him down. He's going to be everything that's been advertised, I think. He's going to be the guy. He's not Luka right away, but he's going to align himself along with Luka's production in short order. So I think they're going to have a lot to look forward to. We talked about Houston. The other team we haven't mentioned, even though they're not in the B group, but they are in the Southwest Division, the San Antonio Spurs. To me, the Spurs are the most intriguing team in the entire NBA.
Yeah.
They can be in the Western Conference Finals, or they can miss the playoffs. That's their variance because of what they have. But they're not going to be down for long, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But hey, you look at these teams right now, every night in and night out, the Grizzlies are going to have their hands full. They're going to have to bring their A game, and they're going to have to get healthy. Big fella's got to get out there at some point. We know he and Jaren Jackson Jr. might not start the season on 2 feet together at the same time. But eventually, these guys got to get out there and hit the ground running.
Quickly, how important will it be for them to get off to a good start? You mentioned
question.
the big men not being there.
Great question.
At the start of the year, at least.
And that's the one thing I'm looking at. What do these first 20 games of the season look like? Not only the health of Jaren Jackson and Zach Edey, you got to question whether they'll be ready for that. Isolo is beginning his first full season now. Are they going to be ready for that? You got as many as 4 rookies or second-year players that are going to be getting in the rotation early. Are they ready for that? So that first 20-game set is going to be key in terms of how well the Grizzlies get off to a start.
Mike Wallace going to be a busy man this afternoon as we wait for the schedule release this afternoon. I appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good luck
sir.
for the
Yes,
rest
sir.
of this afternoon. Good luck for the rest of the season when it comes around.